Well, if you like football, you loved what you saw in San Francisco. We've got it on Primetime next. Coming up on NFL Primetime, a revenge-filled wildcard Sunday. Steve Young and the high-scoring Niners look to exorcise the ghosts of postseason past. Favre and the Pack hope to strike gold once again in San Francisco. In Jacksonville, Mark Brunell and the tailor-made Jags seek payback for the '96 championship game, while the upset-minded Pats look to cage the crafty Cats. Will it be sweet revenge or another dreaded disappointment? Who'll advance to the NFL's Elite Eight? NFL Primetime. Coming up next. Welcome to Wild Card Sunday of NFL Primetime. I'm Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. And I don't know about you, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with what we just saw.
I'm exhausted after watching that game.
I can only imagine what the 49ers and Packers feel like after playing one of the great playoff games that we have ever seen. We can't wait to show it to you. But first, we're going to go chronologically. We begin the day in the AFC, where the New England Patriots at 9-7 were playing without their leaders, Drew Bledsoe, and we're in 11-5 Jacksonville, a team that they beat in the championship game 2 years ago. Could they pull the upset? Remember with Zolak, they beat San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. But they were playing in Jacksonville, and one of the less-known stats in all of football, 20 of the last 22 at home Jacksonville has won. They see all and know all at Alltel Stadium. First ever home game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they get their leader back, Mark Brunell, albeit with a high ankle sprain, and Scott Zolak, third straight start for the Pats. 1-1 in the previous two. Tom Tupelo Honey, punt partially blocked by Kevin Hardy, who had a big game. Reggie Barlow makes something out of return the Jags in business to the 40. Mike Hollis has doinked field goals off the right upright in playoffs before. Takes aim at the same thing, just misses it. It's good. 36-yard field goal. 3-0 Jags. First quarter, Fred Taylor. And Willie Clay gets caught in the kiln. 46 yards for the rookie Taylor. Down to the 20-yard line. 5 plays later, second and goal. Brunell. Too hard for Keenan McCardell. And then Thomas, he looks for Damon Jones. He took too much off.
Yeah, not enough touch on that one and a little too much touch on this one to Damon Jones.
So the Patriots defense holds, and Mike Hollis comes on the field again. Gets the 25-yard field goal, but the Pats had to hope the defense could keep him in at 6-0. Second quarter, same score. Fred Taylor up, nothing that way. Whoop! Oh, we'll get a little cut block from Baselli, and we'll go 21 yards down to the Patriots' 34-yard line. Next play, Brunell, airborne. He had trouble throwing, but he hits McCardell, stumbles over that 1st and 10 line, and then it's 14 yards. Taylor, running left, gets a big block.
Yeah, great pull by Leon Searcy, blocking on Brewski to get him into the end zone.
12-0 for Tom Coughlin. He says, let's go for 2 and make it 14, but the veteran Henry Thomas stuffs Taylor, and it's still 12-0. Pete Carroll hoping again for defense. Patriots offense, we haven't shown you much, although this little screen to Robert Edwards started well, it ended poorly. Brian Schwartz with the hit. It's a fumble. Jacksonville ball.
Great job by Schwartz where he comes up on Edwards and hammers the ball out right there, and you see the entire Jags defense swarming on the football.
Schwartz was the general because Schwartz made him cough it up. End of the first half. Mark Brunell. Greg Spires spins him, and remember, he's playing with the ankle sprain. Brunell gets up limping, but the Jags go off with a 12-0 halftime lead. New England offense in the first half, as Brunell limps off, New England's offense atrocious. He's not dumb, but we can't understand why he walks like a woman and throws like a man. He's Zolak. Z-O-L-A-A-K, Zolak. Scotty struggled. Missed Coates, missed Simmons. Tried to go deep. We saw him throw deep against San Francisco. He has a good arm. Simmons is out of bounds. And then even on the short ones to Cedric Shaw, Zolak feeling the jitters of the magnitude of the start. Patriots 0 for 7 on third downs in the first half. So we begin the third quarter, 12-0. Brunell. Hit as he throws, limps off, and the Jags are going to punt. Meanwhile, on the Patriots sideline, tell me, is Drew Bledsoe looking like a tourist these days? Trying to sell Zolak to stay in there and get it going, and he does. Zolak Detroit Brown and
his band of renown.
12 yards and a first down. 4 plays later, third down, Zolak. Detroit Brown and
his band of renown.
22 yards to the Jags 35. 7 plays later, 3rd and 5 of the 9, Zolak. The Ben winter coats don't need a winter coat in Jacksonville at this time of the year. He thinks he has a touchdown, doesn't, but he has a first down on the 1 line. Robert Edwards, the drive that took almost 9 minutes. And the Patriots, the Jags let him hang around. Patriots are within 12-7. Now the score is 12-10 after a field goal by Vinatieri. Brunell for Jimmy Smith. He doesn't make this catch, but Tom running for the end zone from 37 yards out, he's going to make this.
Yeah, you look at this toss to the back of the end zone by Brunell, and what a great grab by Jimmy Smith as he goes out of the end zone.
And a great battle here between 2 young players.
Yeah, 2 outstanding starters in the Pro Bowl. You see the Ty Law kind of misjudged Jimmy Smith's speed right there. He runs by, and he really did do a great job of clutching the football.
Patriots trying to get back in it. He's not the world's most physical guy, but when you squeeze him tight, he nearly broke his spine. It's Zolak. It's a fumble. Schmengi the hit. Tony Brackens. If at first you don't succeed, fall on it the second time.
Joe Schmengi coming from the right side of the screen. He's going to knock the ball out. Watch right here. You see Tony Brackens try to pick it up and run, and then think better of it, grab it, roll over on it. I've got possession.
Chris Slade, Patriots, season over. Mark Brunell talks to Zolak afterwards, and the Jags win it 25-10. Fred Taylor, 33 carries, 162 yards, as now 21 of the last 23 at home, although the Jags probably won't return home in the playoffs. They are moving on to the second round to play the New York Football Jets, and afterwards, the Jags, who are 0-3 lifetime against the Pats, talked about this was our time.
They've beaten us 3 straight times, and they pretty much did what they wanted against us. So how much more motivation do you need?
Bad first half, better second half. Came back in the second half, and we rallied there for a while and ran out of gas. Ran out of missiles.
We had heard rumors coming out of New England that we were a finesse team. Just wanted to prove that we were more physical, and by running the ball, that lets you know who's smash mouth and who's soft.
Any thoughts about the Jets?
Well, we know the second best team in the AFC, maybe playing the best football right now. We know their head coach will have them ready to play, and it'll be another emotional game. We go up there, so it'll be a little tougher.
Well, I think, Tommy, New England had to have a lot of things go right. They didn't have their starter, and Jacksonville had theirs. Brunell, of course, he was hurt. But they needed a lot of things to go right, and they needed some turnovers, and they weren't able. Jacksonville played like a veteran team.
Well, certainly without Terry Glenn in the lineup, I think that we assumed that Scott Zolak would have a hard time making big plays in the pass offensive downfield. So he was going to need a big day from Robert Edwards. They only ran the ball, the Patriots, 19 times for 35 yards. That's less than 2 yards a carry. On the other hand, you got the 33 carries for 162 yards from Fred Taylor, so Jacksonville was able to control the tempo of the football game. They didn't turn the football over, which is key when you're playing at home.
Well, so Jacksonville moves on. The Patriots, who knows what's swirling? Rumors of a closed-door meeting between the owner, Robert Kraft, and the coach, Pete Carroll. If they didn't do well, it's hard to tell, did they do well or not in this game? Not well enough. As the Jags move on, they'll be a worthy opponent of the Jets. We go inside the numbers. They'll be real worthy if Fred Taylor can continue this, because we realize the Jaguars haven't been around as long as, say, the Packers or the Bears. But his yardage today, 162 yards, of the top 4 rushing games in Jaguar history, they saved the best for the playoffs. Except for Taylor against Detroit earlier this year, the next 3, Natron means business, Taylor today, and Natron means business, all came in the postseason. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep it going.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
A veritable slugfest at 3.com Park. Brett Favre and the Packers take on the 49ers, a team that they have owned. What a game.
Today, NFL Primetime is brought to you by Rolaids. Rolaids, R-O-L-A-I-D-S, spells relief.
Saturday and Sunday, they're playing football. We got NFL Countdown, 11:30 a.m. tip-off on Saturday, noon on Sunday. Of course, prime time both days next weekend, 7:30 Eastern. And that's that action shot. I like we've gone to great lengths here in the new year of '99 to have an action shot. Tom, please next time look interested in what that is.
I will.
When we return, Garrison Hurst, Dorsey Levens, running like old-time backs. An old-time battle between the Niners and Packers coming up. We must admit, the first game was like a cruiserweight bout. The second game was a heavyweight bout, resembling maybe Ali Frazier 3. The San Francisco 49ers had their season ended the last 3 years in the playoffs by the Green Bay Packers. And all week long, they had heard you're 0-5 against Brett Favre. Steve Young, going back to his Tampa days, 0-8 lifetime against the Packers. Rumors of a coaching switch if it didn't go well. Holmgren for Mariucci, that's not going to happen. Would it be Mike Holmgren's last game with the Pack? Would it be Reggie White's last game with the Pack? Oh, the tension was so thick you couldn't cut it with a machete. Teams that met in the NFC Championship game last year, look, that little look between Steve Young and Brett Favre, they know. And who's back? Charles is in charge. Charles Haley, the only man with 5 Super Bowl rings. Meanwhile, Leroy Butler can't saddle Steve Young. Terrell Owens, catch. Fumble! Darren Sharper with the hit. Pat Terrell recovers it, setting up a field goal.
Yeah, Leroy Butler with the pressure up the middle. A great job of pressuring Steve Young. Steve Young does a better job of getting away and making the completion.
Just like before, the Niners have always fumbled early. The Packers capitalized, but it's only a field goal. This time, Dorsey Levens hitting the fumble, and the Niners recover. Terry Kirby running up the middle. What a good pickup he's been for the Niners. And look at the hole that Kirby gets.
And it was the speed and quickness with which these backs were hitting the hole. Kirby through the hole and down the field for 10-plus yards.
After a 6-yard run by Kirby, what a surprise. A Clark making a playoff catch for San Francisco, but it's Greg Clark. 7-3 San Francisco. Dorsey Levens, he broke in fibula, just back for a few weeks. Oh, man, he was great. 32 yards down to the 2. The first quarter's ended. First play of the second quarter. Fake handoff for Favre. Antonio Freeman. Touchdown. Pretty crossing pattern. Flag on the Niners. 10-7 Pack.
This is in and out coverage between Merton Hanks and Timmy McDonald on the outside. Merton Hanks taking the inside receiver. You see him a little bit late on Freeman McNeil with a nice inside cut.
Next possession, Niners down 10-7. Steve Young to J.J. Stokes. Tyrone Williams knocks it away, and Darren Sharper is there to make the interception, but the Pack could not convert on this turnover. Now it's tied 10-10, second quarter, under 5 minutes. Roel Preston had a couple of good returns. This was not one of them. It's a fumble, and the Niners dig deep beneath the pile. They have the ball on the 19-yard line. Young to pass for Garrison Hurst. George Koontz intercepts the pass. Steve wanted that one back. So the Packers are in business, and they dodge a bullet. Brett Favre with time to Tyrone Davis, who had too much time. He dropped it. Favre hurt. What happened? There were 2 flags on the play, Tom.
Chris Dolman coming in from the bottom of the screen late with the hit, and Roy Barker caught the official's flag and helped him put it down.
So Favre, one of the toughest customers there is, stays in there. And then he makes the throw, and Favre is rolling. Brett Favre, after the play to Brooks, the screen to Dorsey Levens. 15-yard gain, so the 30-yard penalty helps. And the Packers, Dorsey Levens takes it, and they lead it 17-10. First half, 79 yards for Levens, including the touchdown. So we begin the third quarter, 17-10 Green Bay. Favre. The pass across the middle, but Lee Woodall is there. We talk about a heavyweight fight. Woodall, who looks like Evander Holyfield, makes the pick. And Favre and Gabe Wilkins, his one-time teammate, have words. And look what happened, Tom.
And this is what you love about Brett Favre. This is the quarterback against a lineman, and he's fighting the lineman off.
Garrison first. I look at the Hurst. What bad hamstring. 17 yards. 2 plays later, Steve Young fakes the handoff. Another touchdown for a Clark in that end zone in a playoff game, and it's Greg Clark. We're tied at 17-all.
Clark on the left side of the line, you see him. This is called fall stall. The tight end falls down, gets lost in traffic, comes across the formation. Steve Young, a great job of finding him.
Packers punt, next Niners position, Garrison Hurst. Look at this, the stiff arm of one man. He bowls over Sharper. He stiff arms Leroy Butler, 24 yards. 6 plays later, Mark Edwards on the quick opener on 4th and inches. First down for Mariucci, 20-17 San Francisco. Minute 40 left in the third. Favre. William Henderson, the fullback. Holmgren likes to go up the middle of the field. You see him leap over Tim McDonald, who missed the tackle. 20-20. Fourth quarter, 8.5 left. Young. Terrell Owens had the fumble early, had several drops, but he makes this catch, 34 yards, down to the 13. Then, can you believe we're in the fourth quarter and Jerry Rice doesn't have a catch? Incomplete. 49ers settle for Wade Lionel Richie, who in this game was dancing on the ceiling. 3 field goals. This one 40 yards. It's 23-20 San Francisco. First play after the field goal, packed. 6 minutes left. Favre. Here's the throw he wanted back. Darnell Walker with the pick, and the Niners with the ball at the 40-yard line. 3rd and 10. Steve Young. Terrell Owens at the first down, except he drops the ball. Would have been a first down. Niners punt. Now, the drive began on the own 11. On 3rd and 1 at their own 20, they're going to throw down by 3. Are you kidding? 4th and 1. You think this doesn't take guts? Mike Holmgren says we're going for it. Our own 20, 4th and 1, and Levens with a 2-yard run for a first down. Next play, Favre, a guy who had 3 catches all year. Corey Bradford, rookie, 5th round pick, Jackson State, 57 yards. He caught another ball. Dorsey Levens spinning a la Emerson Boozer down to the 15. Favre. Freeman, an 89-yard drive, which began with just over 4 minutes to go. The Pack lead 27-20. Under 2 minutes to go. Steve Young. J.J. Stokes stays in bounds but picks up 18 yards. Next play. Stokes again for 9 to the midfield stripe. 2nd and 1. Young scrambling. Look at the effort of 44 Mark Edwards. Caught for a loss by Butler once. Twice. No, he's not. He moves forward for a key first down. Niners use their second timeout. 46 seconds to go now, 2 plays later. Young to Rice, who'll be his only catch of the game. 6 yards. It's a fumble. The Packers think it's a fumble. The ref says down. You take another look.
Yeah, look at Scott McGraham here. The ball is out. Boom.
Was his knee down? But the Niners keep the ball. 3rd and 4, 27 seconds left. Young, Kirby, 7 yards, and he stops the clock. Gets out of bounds. Next play of the first down. Young, Hurst takes a wallop. Final timeout, San Francisco. 3rd and 3. There are 8 seconds left when we pick it up. 25-yard line. Young stumbles, almost loses his feet. Boom! Touchdown! Terrell Owens holds on to it. Sharper hit him, but it's a touchdown for the 49ers. Look at the throw down the pipe. Owens, catch, slam, bam, touchdown. Extra point, good. With 3 seconds left on the clock, the ball's in the end zone. The Niners have beaten the Jinx. They've beaten the Packers in one of the most rousing games we've seen. 49ers 30, the Packers 27. 2 unbelievable clutch drives. 2 a 89-yard drive by the Pack to go ahead, and then a 76-yard drive by the 49ers to go ahead. In the game, Levens had $116. Hurst, $128. So many heroes. Let's start with the coach.
Boy, did it go right down to the wire. And T.O., I was so happy for him because he had a couple of plays where he'd like to have back. And then he made the play to win the game for us. And yeah, Steve threw it in there, and we protected and all of that. But boy, he made a great play. One of the big catches in this organization's history. Terrell Owens was really, he was beside himself. He was, yeah, geez. I couldn't tell if he was hurt or crying or just he was very emotional.
It was that last play. It was he called all go, and Butler was on me. He had been playing me to the inside. He wouldn't let me get outside, so I faked outside and just knifed down the middle. And Steve threw the ball where it had to be. Those are the type of things that we had been talking about all year.
It's a shame that this was in the first round of the playoffs. 2 heavyweights going up against each other, and 2 of the great quarterbacks of all time, Steve Young and Brett Favre, Tom.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a great football game. You can see the championship performance of both of these football teams, and I think that they got the kind of a game that they needed from their running backs. 116 yards for Dorsey Levens, 128 yards for Garrison Hurst. But it was the great balance of the offenses, and the coaches calling them 28 rushes and 35 passes for the Green Bay Packers. Even better balance for the 49ers, 31 rushing, 32 passing. So the coaches went into the game thinking if we can get our running backs going, things will open up. I was surprised that Steve Young didn't have a better performance until the end of the game when he really had to have it.
You know, I look at the symbolism. The drive that the Packers started with Favre on the 11-yard line, the same 11-yard line that Montana's drive started in the same corner of the end zone with the touchdown pass. Then the 49ers touchdown by Steve Young, 8 seconds left on the clock. He wears number 8. There's a higher power in this ball game. Who gets the game balls? You know what? They're going to give them to everybody on the team, but we have to choose a couple. We'll be back.
Bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save.
Whichever back's team won was getting my ball. Garrison Hurst, 128 tough yards on a tough hammy. He was the little big man today for San Francisco. He gets my game ball, Tom.
And boom, my game ball also goes to a running back of the winning team. 33 carries, 162 yards, and a touchdown for Fred Taylor, the great rookie. We'll be back.
I've asked Patty.
Foster's, Australian for beer.
AFC now set. Miami at Denver is the Saturday game. Jacksonville at the Jets is the Sunday game. And in the NFC, wow, San Francisco now on a short week goes to Atlanta, the team that dethroned them in the West. They split games this year with Atlanta winning at home. And Arizona, you can set your clock by it once every 51 years. The Cardinals win a playoff game. They're going to try and make it to there at Minnesota, the late game on Sunday. San Francisco to Atlanta. While Atlanta sat, San Francisco worked hard.
Well, that's what the playoffs are all about. While one team or 4 teams were sitting at home waiting, you had some great emotional games. I think the best one played by the San Francisco 49ers today. What will they be able to do next week?
Well, if this is the way the playoffs have started this year in the National Football League, let's bring on the rest. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Happy New Year, everybody. As they say in Hawaii, Hole Makahiki.